Welcome back. It's nice and early Saturday morning. Excuse me, I'm still half asleep. It's friggin' frigid. It's like 20 some outside, about 40 some in here. And I'm about to get ready to go make some more terrible life choices. So let's pack and get ready. We got a bag full of tools here. We got a box full of extra parts and fluids, other bits and bobs. So take a guess of what we're getting, and I'll see you on the road. All right, we're gonna lock up. And Luis is here in his GE. And we're headed about an hour north, just outside of Milwaukee. See you guys on the way. Alright, we're on the road, about halfway there. We got 31 minutes left, about an hour trip. Dunkin' on the way. Wisconsin highway speed limits, way better than Illinois. See you when we get there. Well, what do we have here? Another shit box. This one's got 160K on it. No lights on yet. Interior's in much better shape. Picked it up for a crazy low steal, so I had to get it. The clutch doesn't disengage, so you have to start in first gear and then roll through them, and then when you come to a stop, you gotta turn the car off. So here we are in an hour drive back home in a very sketchy car. Again, the rear tires are super dry rotted and about 9 psi each. This thing is shaking violently at about 60, so wish me luck. It's gonna be a long one. All right, we stopped at Cheap Gasland. Definitely less than I pay over the border. And here it is. 08 Fit Sport. Been sitting for about a year. It's got a nice thick layer of dust on it, so I'm gonna try to wipe some of that off to make the rest of the way home. But once we get back, I'll show you what it is, or at least show you more of what it is. We're about halfway there. Sorry, I'm a terrible YouTuber. I'm not really recording this. It's also terrifying to drive because of the tire shake. The tires in the rear were really low, very dry rotted. I'm hoping one doesn't pop, knock on wood. And yeah, we got Luis up in the rear view. Let's hope he makes it. It doesn't like steering, like going around curvatures in the highway is pretty sketch, so I think there's something also going on with suspension, or maybe I'm just not used to driving one of these on stock suspension over a spray bar. I'm sure the super old dry rotted tires have something to do with it. So yeah, turn the lights on. Let's get to it. I'm a terrible YouTuber, and I took no footage during the purchase. I just didn't want to make it weird with the seller. I got way too good a deal on this. I didn't want to put any other, weird things going on with the deal. I just kind of wanted to get the car and get out. So here it is. It's a 2008 Fit Sport manual. It's got some really weird clutch issue where I don't know if it's hydraulic or a clutch spring let go in the disc, but I did order some new parts to see if I can get it fixed. It doesn't want to go into gear, grinds every gear. When the car's off, it goes perfectly fine into all the gears, but the pedal feels normal, and it looks like the slave is doing its job. I took the airbox out and took a look at it, and it is moving. So I don't really know what's going on, but I'm going to try to diagnose it and see if I can get this thing driving like it should. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this car yet. My brother needs a car, and it might go to him. I might pull parts from it and try to clean it up and sell it. I don't really know yet. I have to see what I find with the clutch, because if the transmission is toast, then I don't really feel like fixing it. I do have a spare transmission, but it needs to be rebuilt, and that can get pretty pricey, and I don't really know that I would see a proper return on investment if I were to need to do that. It did come with black housing headlights, so that's pretty cool. I'm probably going to steal those for other car. All the panels are pretty damaged. The hood's got, stuff here and there. The bumper's all sorts of scuffed up, and You know, it's definitely been a city car. I think originally this car was from Texas, but it spent most of its life, the last handful of years, in either Milwaukee or Madison. We've got another big scuff here and there on that. It looks like that might have even been repainted at some point. The bottom of the doors are fairly clean. There's not a whole lot of rust. There's barely a little bit starting down there. We've got just a little bit here, a lot better than the other car I've got. You know, more paint scrapes all over the bumper. The hatch is in a lot better condition. It doesn't have a big hit right here, so I might steal that for mine too. A little bit worse on that, but still not horrible. The bottom of that is actually pretty clean too. This door has a bit of a ding there, some scratches along there. Same with scratching here. That mirror's been replaced. This fender's messed up. So it's not a clean car, but it's got good bones, and as a first car it might be great. Even as a track car it'd be great. So we'll see what I end up doing with it. But for now I'm going to take it in a test drive and show you how it drives, or doesn't really. So let's get in it. That's the interior of the car. It's dusty from sitting for a long time, but honestly in pretty good shape. The seats are in pretty good shape. This one's got a big rip on the back. The carpet is surprisingly good. It's got a little bit of wear down there, but not the massive amounts you usually see in that area. The mat is pretty smoked though, so I'm gonna have to change those out. Door panels are in good shape. It doesn't look like the fabric's starting to tear away from those yet. Same thing in the rear. This is in pretty good shape. There's that gash, which kind of sucks because the rest of it is in great shape. Again, carpet pretty clean. Looks like they always kept ants in this thing, so that's a huge plus. The carpets are not of very high quality in this. The rear's not as good. It's got some tears, some wear marks on the back down here. The trunk, honestly, pretty good shape. A little bit of water coming in. We've had a bunch of snow and rain and ice the last couple of days, so I think that's probably as bad as it's going to get. I'll see if I can do something about that. Overall, pretty good. Pretty happy with it, but we'll see what we can sort out mechanically, see if we can save this one, because it'd be, again, a great first car for my brother if we could do that. If not, my buddy, it's actually my girlfriend's cousin Nate, who is a character and you all will absolutely have to meet on the channel. And I have been talking about possibly doing a Lemons build, so maybe that is on the horizon. We don't really know yet, but you know, figure it out and bring you guys along. All right, so I'll show you here. It'll go into every gear perfectly fine. Like, the shifter feels perfect. The center console's not really attached. Don't mind that. But when we go to start it, if I do it in gear, I'm going to take the parking brake off so it doesn't stall the car. That's in first. The car will lurch forward. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that on camera, but even though I'm all the way down on the clutch pedal, down there, I don't know if you can see that, it'll still lurch, like the clutch is not totally disengaging. So I'm going to try to get out of my driveway without crashing it into anyone. The starter also likes to hang up, and there's like, you can kind of modulate it, but it shakes the whole freaking car because the clutch is not working properly. So it's pretty sketch to do like stop and go, and then it's really difficult to get into gear, and it'll do that, where it'll just jump everywhere. I'm gonna put my seatbelt down. And then it won't want to shift. Actually, it did it there. Check engine light did come on the drive home. I think it's just because I kept trying to start it in gear and it might have caught a misfire. I still have to check the codes. But honestly, I'm surprised this thing drives really nicely, other than the terrible tires and the clutch that doesn't really work. So I was just kind of like double clutching it on the way home, and that way it seemed to work. It seemed to be okay. Kind of have to force it into gear a little bit. I'm hoping it's the hydraulics. I ordered all the new stuff. Might as well do a CDV while we're at it, because if I have to do the clutch with these Midwestern cars, you got to drop the subframe, and they never want to go back in. The bolts sometimes end up snapping. Like, it's just not fun. Let's trying to stall out because I was in gear with the clutch in and the pedal all the way depressed, and the clutch is not disengaging, and like that, it didn't want to go in a second, and then it lurched. And I know it might seem like bad driving on my end, but I promise it's the car. So, just a quick little test drive to show you guys what it's like. The interior's in great shape. It's honestly kind of sad that this driver's seat has a huge rip in it, because it's, again, in way better shape than the other car that I bought. It was just a city car, and you know, it's just kind of someone stopped caring for it, and you know, it shows it. It's got a huge crack on the windshield. Two of them actually. One's like a big spider crack on a corner, and the other one across the front. Definitely fixable stuff. It's just going to take some time, some effort, some money. I just want to figure out first what's going on with the clutch and see if all of those things are worth putting into this car, or if I should just steal what's good and put that into the other car. So let me plug in a scanner and see if I can figure out what's going on with check engine light real quick. All right, I went ahead and pulled the codes. It looks like it's got a P0420, so this just got more complicated and expensive, which is another hash mark towards maybe just using this car for parts. I don't really know yet. Again, I'm gonna have to dive into it some more. Some ticks towards not using it for parts and fixing it is that I have the factory window sticker. Like, it's crazy. This car sold for $15,270 new. MPG is 28 city, 34 highway, which is pretty cool seeing as I got about 32. It runs great, so I don't really know that it's got a clogged cat or anything like that. It might just be an old terrible cat or some O2 sensors I'll have to actually diagnose with my better tool. And it came with all of the factory service manuals and warranty booklets and everything. I even got the radio code, and the factory radio works. Imagine that. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing with this thing yet, but I have some stuff on the way. I'm gonna get it up on the lift and check it out, and we'll do that in a separate video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.